Stand by to fall in, Polk County. This is today's veteran. Hello and welcome, and on behalf of everyone at the Office of Polk County Veteran Services, thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Tim Kirkhart, and on this installment of today's Veteran, we chat with John Meyer, Health Center Administrator, Central Florida Healthcare, about being a provider for the Veterans Choice Program. But we start off today's show with a look at veterans continuing their education after their service to their country. Joining us in studio is Reggie Webb, Vice President for Student Services, Polk State College, and Greg Radford, veteran and student at Polk State College. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
What kind of services does Polk State College offer to veterans?
Polk State College offers specialized veteran services to all our veterans. When our veterans come on campus, they go through special orientation that is designed for our veterans. And in this orientation, they learn about admissions, advising, career services, financial aid, veterans education benefits, and also special programs. And during this orientation, they also learn about special priority registration. Our veterans get priority registration. They do registration a week before our regular students.
Okay. So the GI Bill and other military educational benefits make it possible for veterans to go back to school. But tell me some of the things that Polk State does in addition to help veterans.
Okay, we offer a scholarship for our veterans. For those veterans who have within 12 credits of graduating on their program, we offer scholarship for those veterans. They also are eligible to apply for the Pell Grant, student loans, and private loans through our foundation if they qualify.
Okay, okay. What is the experience like at Polk State College for our veterans?
I would say it's an awesome experience. As a VP, it's my goal to make sure Polk State College is a friendly veteran campus or college. We try to make sure we hold veteran events on campus where we publicize and advertise veteran events. We encourage them to stay in college because of our support system. But one of the things I'm proud of is our new vet center that we offer on the Winter Haven campus. It's a one-stop shop for our veterans. They can come in and get admissions, advising, free tutoring, financial aid. Actually can hang out right in the one-stop shop in the vet center on Winter Haven campus.
There may be some veterans watching the show who feel lost or uncertain about going back to college. What would you, as the Vice President at Polk State College, what would you tell those veterans?
First of all, I would tell them thank you for serving our country well, and that they are not alone. We have 150 veterans, current students at Polk State College, who at one time had concerns and was lost, but because they took the first step and received the support that we gave them, were able to transition to college with no problem. We know that this would be a new mission for them, but a mission that can be possible. We're willing to reach out to them with open arms. They can call us through email, through cell phone. We're here to help them.
I was telling you earlier that I went to Polk State back when it was Polk Junior, and this is back during when the veterans were coming back from Vietnam, and I had yet to go into to the military, and I pursued the ROTC program through Polk State and then Florida Southern. But the veterans then seemed to be lost. I mean, they were in Bootstrap or some other program and they just seemed to be going to school to get GI Bill benefits. So, Greg, you're our expert, you're the student.
Yes.
What has the experience of transitioning from being in the military for quite a long time to being a student?
For the most part, for me, it's been a work in progress. Spending almost 23 years in the military was a great career for me, but transitioning out was a little bit of anxiety. But through my wife, Sabrina Mullins Radford, my family, friends, the support of the VA, vocational rehabilitation, and Polk State College, it hasn't been that harsh. I say that because they have a great support system. Mr. Reggie Webb, Kim Pearsall have all been instrumental, as well as others, in my success at Polk State.
So what's been your biggest challenge going from the military to being a veteran who is a student?
My biggest challenge, I would say, is remaining focused. Simply remaining focused. I say that because I like to set my day for success. And what I mean by set my day for success is to plan my day the day prior in order to have everything structured. In the military, things are structured and disciplined, and I like to carry that on into my civilian life, and it has helped me tremendously.
What advice would you have for other former military veterans to getting what they need in college or at Polk State?
If I had to pass on anything to someone that helped me, I would say, before exiting the military, ensure that you have a solid foundation. Start at least at a minimum 24 months. Sometimes that's not capable, but 18 months at a minimum. Try 24 months to start putting things in place for your family, because you deserve it. You need to get yourself together before you exit the military to have things in place.
Do you find that your military experience is a help to you as a student?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I say that because of, back to the same thing, without sounding redundant, the structure, the discipline, the downright hard work, mental toughness, and the grit. The Army is built off what we call the 7 Army Corps values. They are the cornerstone and the building blocks of the military for us. And they are leadership, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage, which is an acronym for leadership. And I noticed, me being a great leader on and off the battlefield, at Polk State, I had to take a step back and let the leaders lead me. Example, Reggie Webb, Kim Pearsall. Let them show me how to go through the college maze, because I wasn't aware of it. So I took a step back and I let them lead me, and it's worked out perfect for me. I'm grateful.
You're used to taking the bull by the horns, and you have to actually step back and use resources such as Dr. Webb and your academic advisor.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. How did Polk State help you transition into the classroom?
Transitioning to the classroom was fairly easy for me because of the size of the classroom. I was very hesitant coming out of the military, being in large crowds, but Polk State had smaller classrooms. The teachers, I was able to get one-on-one with the teachers more frequently than a larger university. That's one reason why I chose Polk State. And I would like to encourage other veterans who are watching this or seeing this program that they have an outstanding program as far as, you know, catering to veterans and giving help one-on-one with the professors. And last but not least, their program for the tutors are outstanding. I would not be where I am today with a 3.75 grade point average without the help of the tutors at Polk State. The tutors have been instrumental in my success.
How far along are you in your educational program, and what are your goals for the future?
I'm going into my 3rd year at Polk State because I'm taking it slow. I'm not rushing anything, and I'm going to be graduating in April of 2016, and I will be going on to a major university. I haven't made a choice yet, but I'm leaning towards a major university. But the platform that Polk State have provided for me has been instrumental.
Are you using the GI Bill?
I am currently using vocational rehabilitation program.
And that's through the VA?
And that's through the VA. It's a program similar to the GI Bill, but they also kind of help you out and have a counselor to oversee your program.
Where are they located? Are they in St. Pete, or are they
they're
on
out
the
of St.
campus?
Pete. They're out of St. Pete, and they're also out of Orlando.
Okay. So just kind of in summary, it seems like Polk State has a great veterans team to guide you and to help you and for you to be able to fall back on if you need them.
They do, and I would, like I said before, I would encourage any veteran who is looking at this program. Polk State is a college that leans towards veteran, and they also thank you for your service, and I appreciate them. I'm grateful for Polk State.
Well, thank you both. We're out of time. Is there any other things you would like to tell the audience about Polk State and their veterans program?
How would you like to say, like Greg mentioned, that it's wide open there, and we're here for them. You give us a call, we'll step up to the plate and serve them because they served us.
And if you ever need me, you can easily reach me. Just contact Reggie Webb, and he has my information. He will get in contact with me. I'm always open to help any veteran at any time.
Okay, well, Reggie, and thank you. Thank you for your service, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you, sir.
Polk State College has programs designed to help veterans make a smooth transition to college life and offer information on financial aid, veteran educational benefits, academic advising, special accommodations, and more. Veterans who declare their military service on their Polk State application are given priority registration, giving them an extra week to select classes and build schedules that meet their needs. For more information about continuing your education with Polk State College, give them a call at 863-297-1000 or look them up on the web at www.polk.edu. For the past 6 years, residents of the area have gathered to walk in honor of those killed in action during Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. The walk is centered on Lake Hollingsworth in Lakeland. With a great turnout and incredible community partners, this year's event was another success with a message of veteran suicide prevention. Here's a look at the 6th Annual Warrior Walk.
If anybody's wondering why the shirts are yellow this year, I've had about 15 people ask me this morning. Yellow is suicide prevention. It's the color for suicide prevention, and today we are focusing on the elephant in the room, the approximately 22 vets a day that take their life. Think about that number for a second, 22 vets a day. That's one vet almost every hour. This means since 9/11, there have been more than 107,000 military suicides, a number that is just under 16 times the amount of American troops killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. I recently spoke to a Vietnam vet who told me it took him 38 years to ask for help, that he suffered in silence for most of his adult life, and PTSD finally got to the point where he had to ask for help. His advice to those with PTSD is to talk to somebody now. Don't waste your life suffering. There are people out there who want to help. And I know that it's a topic that nobody wants to talk about and we don't want to think about, but it's happening almost every hour.
My son served his country honorably. as an infantryman in support of Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. He, unlike so many of his brothers, returned from combat. However, he did not return unwounded. He received a Purple Heart for his physical injuries, but that is not what killed him. You see, my son suffered from post-traumatic stress, which was a direct result of his combat experiences. My son suffered and struggled with depression, anxiety, anger, and guilt. This led him to isolating himself from his family and loved ones. He chose to die alone. My son was a man of honor. He had already sacrificed all of his adult life serving his country. And this is the part that really hurts. Knowing how he was hurting and being unable to reach him, to get him help, and to save him. It tears at a mother's soul. At the time of his return in 2007, there was far less emphasis and attention being paid to the silent killer called post-traumatic stress.
Welcome back to Today's Veteran. I'm your host, Tim Kirkhart. The Veterans Choice Program was enacted by Congress and signed by President Obama in August of 2014 to improve health care for veterans. This program provides a safety net for veterans who are on a VA waiting list due to health care appointment that could not be provided to them within 30 days of their preferred date. The date that is medically determined by their physician or who live more than 40 miles from the closest VA medical facility. Joining us in studio is John Meyer, Health Center Administrator at Central Florida Healthcare. Welcome to Today's Veteran.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your organization and how maybe veterans and even their families can interact.
We've actually been around for 42 years. We're in Highlands, Hardy, and Polk County. We currently have 9 different clinics. We provide both primary medical care, dental, we also have OB/GYN services. And if the veteran is eligible for the Veterans Choice Program, and they meet the criteria, they can come and see us. And the advantage with coming to see us is we can also care for their family, which is always it's a huge bonus.
Okay, so if the veteran is eligible for the choice program, then you can also serve their families.
Correct. Right. I mean, they have to determine their eligibility with the VA.
Okay. There's a lot of confusion with the VA choice program. Can you clear up anything? I know that we get questions all the time at the Polk County Veteran Service Office because they mailed out the cards, so
Right.
every veteran got them, and then they're confused about what has to happen for them to use a private facility like yourself.
Okay. Well, the criteria is either 40 miles by driving. It's no longer a straight line. They did change that. So if you're farther than 40 miles from the nearest VA clinic, that would make you eligible. Or if it's going to take more than 30 days for you to get in to be seen at a veterans clinic.
Okay.
All right. VA does have a very nice website and a toll-free number that will help you to find out if you're eligible. They can also help you if you did not get your Veterans Choice card.
Okay.
And they can assist with that process as well.
Okay. So the veteran has to call to become eligible to use the program.
Correct. It was something that it was sent out to all veterans, but they had to opt into the program. It wasn't something that wasn't done automatically or.
If the facility does not offer eye care, such as the Lakeland community-based outpatient clinic, are you familiar with that and why, or if the veteran can use the choice program?
We have to, for any out referrals for specialties that we don't have under our roof, they have a computerized site that we log into, and we can get a list of who they are eligible to go and see. For some specialties, they will have to see a VA provider. For some cases, it will be a private provider, but that's all determined by the VA. I mean, we can't control it. We can just find out who they can go and see, but we will assist them with that.
What kind of experience have you had with veterans using the choice program for your facility?
We've started getting quite a few at all of our different sites. It's basically what it comes down to is they tried to get in with most of them are trying to get in with the VA clinic in Lakeland, a couple from Tampa out in Hardy County. And basically when they were not able to get in within 30 days, they opted to see us. They already knew that they could see us, and when that happened, they just opted. And actually, the VA helped them set up the appointment with us.
Does that appointment have to be for a specific illness or injury, or can it be a checkup, or?
It can be a checkup. We're a primary care provider, which means we're the hub, the center of everything. Any specialty care, if it's not something that we would cover, there's some chronic illnesses, hypertension, diabetes, and that we do take care of. But specialties, they would still be going out to a specialist. But that being said, they would still be coming to us for the primary care, and all those records would be going through the primary care physician. Okay,
so a veteran comes in and he has diabetes. So he comes in for primary care. He's approved by the choice program.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to get a clearance or an eligibility determination to send him to a specialist?
Well, we do, but it's all computerized. So it actually is not a really complicated program. We've already had to use it. As long as we can provide the documentation that it's needed, it's not a problem getting that done.
Okay. And then the VA then pays you?
Yes. That's why it's important. They have to be eligible for the program, and they have to meet the criteria, because if they don't meet the criteria, they can still come see us, but the VA is not going to cover it.
What about a copay? A VA usually will charge the veteran a copay for certain services depending on their eligibility category. Do you get involved in that?
No.
No, they
No.
don't. That would be done by the VA.
That is done through the VA, takes care of all of that.
So tell us a little bit about some of the experiences that you've had. I know it's limited, but it's starting to pick up as far as maybe a specific incident or health care that you've provided to a vet and maybe even their family, if you have, through the Choice program?
Actually, the one that sticks out is just recently I was doing veterans outreach over in Lake Wales. And we had started seeing the gentleman at one of our offices, the office in Winter Haven, and he was out there. And he was thanking me and everything else. And he said, you know, the best thing about this is after I got in there and started seeing it, they let me know that you also had dental services. And he said, I've been having the worst time to get anything done. He said, you guys got me in, and because we also have a sliding fee scale, even though VA wasn't going to take care of it, we were able to get him also taken care of on that side for very, very minimal amount.
What about a veteran who has maybe been using your services but not through the Choice program? Do you let them know about the Choice program? Do you ask them if they're veterans, and how would that work?
We do. As part of our demographics, when we do that, we ask all of our patients if they're veterans. I mean, there's some other things that we also ask about, because there are some other services that can be provided under certain circumstances. But yes, we always make it a point to ask if they're veterans, and we do let them know that, because if they're eligible, they need to be receiving those benefits. So.
How is your program funded? Is it local funding, or how does that work?
We are a not-for-profit, federally funded community health center. And essentially what that means is anybody can come in and see us. We have programs that not just for the veteran, but that's why we can also help the family. Even if it's low income, they can come in, they fill out, we have a sliding fee scale. And essentially they fill that out with us, and it affects how much they're going to pay towards the visits.
So we have just a little bit of time left. Can you summarize maybe what you do for veterans through the Choice program?
Well, once we get that call that they're eligible to come see us, we get the appointment set up for them. I said normally it's within about 3 days. Get them in there, we're going to get them established for primary health care. We're going to get a hold of their medical records. That way our providers can see if other conditions that they need to be treated for. So we're going to do the whole treatment. Once they're in there and get established, then we'll start looking at if they need any specialty services. They're going to sit down and talk to the veteran and have a long chat with any concerns that they have about anything going on with them medically, and we'll try and address all of that. Also in cases like PTSD, I recently had a discussion with one of the local agencies. Because the VA doesn't provide the treatment for the family, they're willing to help the family with some of the counseling towards that so they can better understand the condition.
Well, listen, John, I want to thank you for coming on to tell us about your efforts to help the veterans through the Central Florida Health Care Facility. Thank you for coming.
All right, thank you for having me.
For more information on the Veterans Choice Program, check their website and go to www.cfhconline.org. That's going to do it for this edition of Today's Veteran. I want to thank our guests today, Reggie Webb, Greg Radford, and John Meyer. But most of all, I want to thank you for joining us. Remember, for help and information regarding claims, benefits, and services available to veterans and their families, call the Polk County Veterans Service Office at 863-534-5220 or log on to the Polk County website at www.polk-county.net. I'm your host, Tim Kirkhart, and we'll see you again next month.